Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bold Badass Business Owners Show. I don't know why I'm using that weird accent, but I feel like it. I feel good. Do, 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 do. And today, you know why I feel good? Because we have in the house Tiffanie Kellog, who is amazing, who is a coach. She's an author. She's a speaker. She is a podcast host herself. And in fact, she's going to be helping you have more time, more fun, and more money in your life and your business. So welcome, Tiffanie.
Thank you so very much for having me today.
I'm thrilled you are here, and I know this is going to be fun because you are fun. I hope everybody noticed her Scrabble on the back there. Time, money, fun. Heck yeah. So we're all about that on Bold Badass Business Owners. And something that I just loved about you, Tiffanie, when I met you was just your energy. You have just great energy, very positive energy. And I am just thinking, today we're talking about why you freaking aren't getting any referrals in your business. I'm thinking that has partly to do with energy. Am I right?
If people don't like you, they're so not gonna refer you.
That's why I'm not getting any referrals. Oh my God. But yeah, that's true. If they don't like you. Now, I think that's interesting that you said if they don't like you, because people always talk about the know, like, trust factor, and I like to add respect to that. Know, like, trust, and respect in business. But if people don't like you, they're not going to refer people to you. Tell us more about this.
So, did you ever watch the show House MD on Fox with Hugh Laurie?
I did not, but I'm sure somebody on here did.
It was a pretty popular show. The main character, whose name was House, that's his last name, so Dr. House. He was, usually I watch what I say, but he was a jackass. I'm like, we can get away with jackass on badass for fun. He was a jackass. I mean, he was a jerk. I mean, and not even a little bit, a lot. However, by the time you got to him as your doctor, if he can't fix you, you're going to die. So people would refer him and they wanted to work with him because it was like a life or death situation. Very rarely for entrepreneurs is the business where you are the only one that does what you do and it's a life or death situation. Usually there's other people that do what you do, as well as it's not going to end in death. And so people have to like us because there's other folks out there. And I'm not saying that we have to be the best friend level, but we have to have at least a little bit of respect for that person, a little bit of like. I mean, I know a few people that are kind of jerks, and when I refer them, I'm like, look, they're like New York abrasive times 5, and they're going to be. But I know some people in my network can deal okay with that. And so not to say you have to be super nice, but you have to have people like you if you want them to refer you.
Yes, or at least really understand what you offer and actually depict it in an authentic way, I think, because I get exactly what you're saying. I will refer people and I'll be like, she can be a little tough on you, and she does it from a place of love, right? Or she can appear sometimes like she's flaky, but she's not. Or, I mean, I'll just say stuff like that. But I want, with a referral, we have to realize our reputation is on the line too.
Yeah.
Our reputation is definitely on the line. And so it's very imperative that as we do it in a responsible way that has integrity. I actually heard Tom Gay say recently, we should train our people how to refer us. We should actually give them a write-up about it. Right? Do you have a write-up about yourself that you could share? I love it.
Partner training manual.
Oh my God, girl.
Think of that you need to refer me. I've got it here. Now, this is kind of my beat up 2016 copy. I do have it electronically as well nowadays. But yeah, I have a 30-page referral partner training manual.
30-page. Okay, wait a second. Now this, I want everybody to pay attention right here. A 30-page referral manual. So tell us, what are some of the parts of the referral manual that you have and why? What is the function of them?
So let me preface this by saying very few people in my network actually see it in its entirety.
Gotcha.
And so there are
Okay.
a lot of pieces and components that I will share with people as I first meet them.
Mm-hmm.
But when I've really got that know, like, and trust, and we're into the profitability of generating referrals, that's when it may come out. However, I think it's one of the reasons why you ain't getting no referrals is because people don't know how to refer you. And so there's 40, 50, 60 different things that we can teach our network. And I don't have like a flat number because for some people it makes a difference. Geography matters for some businesses. Hours of operation matters for some businesses. You and I, geography isn't really a thing. I mean, do they have to pay our speaker, like our travel fee is one thing that's a component, but we'll go all kinds of places versus
Right.
I have a general contractor who works in 2 specific areas. He doesn't go outside of that area. So it's not everybody needs everything, but I just want to have it so easy for my referral sources to refer me.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you. I like to pause. I pause people. I
Pause
like
all the
to
way.
pause.
I
This
won't
is the
promise you I'll remember what I was
pause.
saying, but pause is
Yes.
fine.
All right. I want y'all to hear this. She wants to make sure her people know how to refer her. And the other thing she said that I think is really important is they don't refer. People don't refer. It's not your fault sometimes. You know, you are likable, but they don't know how to refer you. And
Yeah.
so we have to educate people in how to refer us. Okay, man, you're making me think about times that someone gave somebody a referral that I knew was so, when they told me what they said, I was like, oh God. And I said, would you just tell her, call Barnsley? That's all. That's all you need to do is just tell her, call Barnsley,
Yeah.
text Barnsley and get on her calendar now. That's all you have to say. And I think sometimes it can be as simple as that when we're talking about a relationship that is a very trusting one where people know each other quite well. All that person, that trusted source has to say is, look, get on our calendar.
Yeah.
Don't ask me anything else. Just get on our calendar. You got to trust me. But with those people that don't really understand, maybe they haven't been coached, or maybe they don't even know that there is such a thing as a professional speaker who actually gets paid to gab and to share their expertise. You know, maybe they don't know that. We've got to educate people.
Yeah.
And so when you do that referral manual, okay, you've got your referral manual. So I really heard you on that. You just give parts of it to different people. But how do you give it to them, Tiffanie? Are you sending them just a little paragraph in an email that they can cut and paste? Are you talking with them on the phone and coaching them and what to say? How are you disseminating that?
So what I typically like to do with people that I know have referral potential is I like to have, some people call them a coffee or one-to-one. I like to call them RPMs because referral partner meeting is what it stands for.
Nice.
But if you're into cars, RPM, that's when you're revving up, you're ramping up your relationship. So it's kind of a play on RPMs. But so I like to have these meetings, and whether it's we get together for 30 minutes or an hour in the beginning of the relationship, shorter. And the later in the relationship, I don't know if we're going to get there, but it can be longer. But at the beginning, I just want to begin to learn about you. So the very first time I sit down with you, I'm wanting to know about why you got into this business. So your why, we call that your emotionally charged connection, is one thing that I want to make sure you know about me and I know about you. And so these meetings aren't me or you, it's a we. I'll share and then you'll share, or vice versa. The second thing on my 3-part agenda that I've got for us, the second thing is I think success stories are important.
Yes.
I don't need to know that, the pen comes in, 75 different colors, these refills, that, it's this price. Like that's all, but I need to know the success story that this pen was able to create.
Yes.
And we can wrap a ton into our success stories. Now, please understand, doctors, attorneys, anywhere that you have industry regulations on your testimonials, please follow those. Don't say, well, Tiffanie said use them. That is not what I'm saying. Do follow your ethical and legal and whatever standards that you have. In that way, though, no, your competition has those too. And if you're like, I wonder if my profession has regulations. If you don't know, you don't. You're good to go. I think everybody knows if they need to watch what they say. But I think because we're able to wrap about us into a story, people are more likely to remember and they want the
Mhm.
successes.
Right. They want the successes, which really means they want the specific results that are shared. I know that I had a client who gave me, and I try to get the specific numbers from them all the time, and then I jot them down. And then I'm in a networking event and I'll say, oh, and the client who just came in 14 days ago has already generated $3,679 of new business
Yes.
just in 14 days in the program. This was more than this was 30 times what she created within 5 months before when she wasn't really working her business.
Mm,
Would you like those kinds of results?
yeah.
How would that be? What would open up for you? So it really is about specificity. And as you say, wrapping the stories and specific results, names, maybe not so much, but we could always say, a lawyer or
Right.
this or a that, or we can change the names and tell people we changed the names to protect the innocent, which is always funny, right?
Yeah.
Yes, or we can create our own version of John Doe. But having those stories is so important because we learn through stories and we remember stories. If I say to you something like, yeah, I help people, and I do say this, I help people reach six figures and beyond, but at least you can see the number six, um, in my Make It Happen Mastermind, that's better than like, I help people 3x their income. Boring, boring.
And
So what kind of specific results are you giving? So Tiffanie, what do you say? Give us a story. Give us a story. Give us a story from your results with your clients, just for fun. And let's pick it up. Let's pick it apart.
all right, so let me tell you a little bit about Jason. When I first started working with Jason, he had just started his general contracting business and he had a crew of him, think 3 guys and a part-time bookkeeper.
Mm.
Now, so fast forward, it's been about 10 years that we've been working together, and he has 45 employees for his $5.8 million construction company
Ooh,
last year.
hello.
Um,
Hello.
and he's been able to get such an amazing team that a couple of years ago, he started a consulting business for other contractors and trades and created a wholesale cabinet shop that now he's able to create there. Now, in 2023, he has become a landlord, is creating a health and wellness spa in his part of town, and the business, one of the businesses to go in it. So by the end of the year, permitting that happens right, he will have 5 businesses, over 5 million in sales just from the one business. And that's just been in about a decade.
Love that. Love that. That shows the power. And then we want to break it down for people, right? Break it down. That
And
shows,
did you notice in the story it wasn't about me?
right. He was the hero.
Yeah. I think
Make your
that's a little.
client the hero. We're not the
Mhm.
hero. We're
Yeah.
not the hero. I mean, we're there. We're the facilitation of the hero's quest, really. The hero is Jason,
Yeah.
and then we want to break down what the story means just quickly for people, so you too could be like Jason, or so, yes, that was over 10 years, but what would it be like for you to just have the one business that has over $5 million of sales?
Oh, I
Would
can
that
tell
be
you,
awesome?
I can tell you about Eric. And this is what I love about in the referral partner meeting is I'm probably going to share 3 success stories in an
Nice.
average referral partner meeting. So I want to give them a cross section of some of the different results that I create. And not only am I sharing the success stories from the perspective of my referral source can then go and share them, but I'm instilling in my referral sources the confidence that I kick ass.
Yeah, because it's convincing, right? I mean, I hope we can tell a genuine story from a fake one. It's when we have things like numbers we have things like the number of employees, the exact amount of the profit last month, the gross, the net, whatever else, the number of new businesses or the number of real estate investments, whatever. It's when we have that specificity that it's really convincing, because it's hard to fabricate that crap. There's a lot of hot air out there. I just want to say there are people who make up testimonials. I have never understood why the F you would want to make up a testimonial. What the heck? I mean, don't you have a business? Well, maybe you don't if you want to make up your testimonials. Just saying, just a little tip there. Not saying that anybody watching this is going to make up their testimonials, but that crap happens. And I have just heard all sorts of hot air. When I used to go to the National Speakers, I'm going to rag on them, the National Speakers Association meetings, boy, there was a lot of hot air. Like, you did not need any electricity in that room. Just all the hot air would heat it up. People saying, this and that. And you could just feel that the results were not real. And that's the other thing. I think this is interesting because Tiffanie, we want to tell those stories and we're not the hero, but we did facilitate that. But we don't want to be like, well, here's what I've created in the last year. I authored 3 books. I mean, I authored 2 chapters and one other thing last week. Well, I did. I really did. But what am I, no, because that just makes us look like assholes who have big heads, right? I think a part of getting referrals is also just being real about what results we get, but not posturing. And I see a lot of posturing. What do you think? Am I off base here?
I think that, and I'm not going to necessarily blame this on social media because that's not how it is. But I think that sometimes we watch people online one way or another and we see all the good and we forget that it's the highlight reel, not the day to day. And I think
it's not them wiping their butt on the toilet, is it?
Right. And I mean, like, I've learned I can't, even if I'm having a bad day, I can't put it on social media because my mother-in-law will see it and then call my husband and then, let me rephrase that. And so if I'm having a bad day, but I don't give the why or how I'm dealing with it, then my mother-in-law sees it and worries about me. Why is Tiffanie sad today? And then he calls me and he's like, Mom's worried about you. So now I'm like, if I'm going to share that I'm sad, which I'm a pretty positive person, not that I'm never sad, but so I try and be positive and spread that. But every once in a while, there's a little bit of melancholy.
Yeah.
I was speaking with a friend, a long-term client whose wife is, terminal with cancer. And so that's just like a super sad thing. And I'm not posting that on social, but I think sometimes we have kind of gotten this idea that we're posturing all the time. And so I think we have to be natural and authentic, because if you are coming off like super slimy snake oil salesman, we get that.
Well, I was going to tell you that with your interview here, you also get a set of Jinsu knives. And I'm going to throw in this special little help button.
And just for the cost of shipping and handling.
That's right. Well, what you say is very true. This is kind of funny. You made me think about a client of mine who I had gave them an assignment of being vulnerable on social media about just a failure in business, some way that they had failed. And I've certainly gotten on there and talked about stuff like how here's the failure that cost me over $11,000. Oh yeah, it's on my Facebook page. Y'all can find it. I hope you learn from it. It's a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
But she got on and she talked this way, and she did get the call from her parents. Are you okay? Are you okay? So, when we do that, we want to make sure that while we're talking, we're also finding a kind of moral to the story, or, something, this too shall pass, something that shows, we're dealing with it, but we want to be real too.
Yeah.
And I think that's where so much of social media is posturing. And if we don't show the chinks that are in our armor, we're not really approachable. Okay. And so people can feel like, And I know, sometimes I haven't wanted to be vulnerable, but I remember having lunch with this fellow I really admired. He'd been in business a lot longer than me as a speaker. He was a speaker on sales, and he just looked at me and he said, I just don't know what I can provide for Dr. Barnsley Brown. You're just so amazing. I said, I started laughing. I said, are you kidding? Well, I mean, I'll take it in. Let me take it in.
Right. Thank
And
you so much.
and let me assure you that for every fantastic thing I've done, there's something else that I really probably tripped and fell several times before
Yeah.
that thing happened. Yeah. So we want to be approachable, right? To get referrals. We want to be, I just saw something interesting by Suzanne Lord Taylor that said, you want to be approachable, not accessible. And I thought that was interesting. Approachable, not accessible, because a lot of times people give away so much in their businesses. The complimentary session that we let drag on longer than it should, longer than it's supposed to, or we give away these reports, these ebooks, these, other things, programs sometimes that we have made ourselves too available. And then why does somebody really need to give a referral our way? Because we're just available. You know what I mean? There's nothing kind of exclusive about it. Isn't a referral sort of supposed to be exclusive in some way? That the person feels special and they feel like they're being connected to just the right person who can assist them at this moment?
Yeah, and I feel like if I have somebody out there saying, "Oh my gosh, Tiffany's great. Watch her YouTube video." That's amazing promotion. Yay! Hey, did you see the interview that they just did?
Yeah.
You know why you're freaking out getting referrals? To me, that's promotion.
Right.
Whereas the referral, there's actually in some way, shape, or form connecting between the people. And so promoting, I think a lot of times people think they're referring when they're promoting.
Okay, now this is a gem. All right, everybody, did you hear that? Did you hear it? What did we just say? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Are you listening? Are you listening? If not, I'm going to pop you. I'm going to pop you, people. So I'm going to pop you with my star pin. Well, referrals are not the same as promotion. Tell us more, Tiffanie.
So I know we've kind of talked a little bit about the social media, but I'm going to bring it back. Let's say I'm in person, I'm talking to somebody, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you so got to get Dr. Barnsley's What's Going in My Head. And so I'm talking you up, I'm talking you up, I'm talking you up. That's promoting. There's this like little itty bitty line that's huge for people to cross. And that is asking permission for however you prefer to be referred. And so I can talk about you till I'm blue in the face. I'm Smurfette now. We love, got love going on. But until you say, would it be okay if we go online and schedule you an appointment with her right now? Can I create a three? Now that could be, I think that's where you would probably want to go. Some people it's like, where's my phone? Hey, do the 3-way text introduction or the 3-way email introduction or schedule a time for us to go grab coffee together. Until we take the time to generate the permission and the connection, it's just promoting. It ain't referring.
Okay, I love this, Tiffanie. This is gold. I hope everybody's listening. Okay, we can talk about people till we're Smurfette. That's hilarious. And that's promotion. But the when we cross over and we say, look, let me connect you all in a group chat on Facebook Messenger, and I'm going to ask her to send you her calendar link. Well, that becomes a referral. Or when we do the 3-way phone call, or when we do, I don't like email. Y'all have heard me rail on this. I don't like email, but okay, if somebody's only available on email, then do the email. I like the Facebook Messenger and I like the text, group text, because then I can see what happens between the people. I can be in on some of that. And I always like to say, and let me know what happens, let me know what happens.
Now, here's the interesting thing though, because you're like, hey, connect me and send me the link. If I'm like top tier referral source for you, I might have your link on my phone.
Exactly.
That I pull up and I say, blah, 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 let me pretend like I got there. Are you available Tuesday at 2? No? How about 3? Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and sign you up right now.
Whoa, that is some intensity right there, Miss Tiffanie. Okay, I don't even think I'm boobsy. I was going to say ballsy, but that didn't apply. I'm not boobsy enough to do that. I mean, no, seriously, you might say, well, Barnsley would just sign you right up, but I would connect the people and have that link. Yes, I do have the link for some of the people that I love. Did y'all hear that? You want to
Depends
have the
on
link.
your relationship with the prospect that you're talking to, with the person that you're referring.
Yes.
I mean, I've got several people in my network that have my calendar, and typically what they do is when it's scheduled, they also send an email or text connecting the three of us saying, hey, look, I'm sitting here with Dr. Barnsley. She's perfect for you. She wants more referrals. We've scheduled a time on your calendar for next week. I've copied her here. Because then we're not waiting on you to go and schedule it. It's already been scheduled. Now, again, it does depend on my relationship. I'm high D. For those of you that have done disc, I'm a go-getter. So I'm going to be like, yeah, you want this. Assuming they do. I'm not going to force them.
You're a quick start. You're like, make decisions fast. You know, you just like, let's jump into action.
Yeah.
And
if they're like,
that's what scared the shit out of some people.
Then I'll come, and I'm usually pretty good at figuring out if I'm going to scare the person or if it's perfect for them. Because if they're an I, they're going to forget about it. And it's like, we just lost the referral. So let me go ahead and make it happen. If they're a C, an examiner, they need the time to think about it and never push them.
Oh, the examiners are so interesting. I call them in my leadership quadrant that I like to think about. I call, they're the analyticals.
Yes.
But here's the thing I've learned about the analyticals, that I have a dear friend who is analytical, and I will just say, okay, now you get to I'm going to help you right now get this done, because otherwise I know it will never get done. But we had that huge relationship of trust of many years of seeing each other through thick and thin. Right. So, I want to just say why you're freaking not getting any referrals in your business is, well, you're freaking superficial. Yeah. No, but I'm going to say, yes, you are superficial in a way, because you haven't really spent the time with people. Because when we spend time with people, they're going to think about us and they're going to want to help us. And the other thing is, maybe you're in it and you're just wanting to get something. And I have been in plenty of meeting where it was so clear that the person just wanted to get, right, to take, to get, suck it all up, suck up all the Barnsley juicy energy, and not really give anything back. And so one thing I'm reminded of with this, and I was thinking, I haven't gotten any referrals recently. Well, no, that's not true, but I haven't gotten referrals who I converted recently. And then I thought, well, have I been giving referrals as much as I usually do? And I started to think about that. And so if you're not getting referrals, probably you're not giving good ones, and you're maybe not giving good quality ones that are really at a level of depth, right?
Yeah.
I have one person who will just refer me people and be like, yeah, this is a high quality referral, but I don't like those referrals. That, to me, I don't know why. Why do you want us to get together? We both have pierced noses. I don't have a pierced nose, y'all, but just saying. Or we, whatever. We both have two eyes. We're both women in business. What is it? It is just, it's a very lame way to give a referral.
Yeah. Like, one of the things, so there's so many things on our list of everything you need to teach, but I want to flip to the next part of the conversation.
Yeah, awesome.
But one of that, I think, is what's your referral receiving process? And most people are like, I get a referral and I call them. And depending on the business, most businesses that we work with have between an 8 and 13 point referral receiving process. And part of that is getting the background information. Typically, in step 3 or 4 is asking, why did you think this person is good for me? And this is before we ever even talk to the prospect. Yep. And when I do finally talk to the prospect, I'm skipping ahead way many steps. So I'm talking to the prospect for the first time. Conversation number 1 is edifying the person that referred them to me, because that's who we have in common. Number 2 is asking, how can I help you? Because that's going to tell you where in the buying process they are, so you're not forcing them.
Interesting.
We got all this education going on. Well, and you mentioned the giving. And so, but you may have a question. Pause before we go to the giving, but that's where I want to go next if it's okay. But I think we need a pause for you.
Yeah, I want to pause for a second because something that I had my VA do recently, well, I've always given people a homework assignment before I would even schedule with them, right? It's a home, and I would laughingly call it a homework assignment. But it's 11-minute prep form. And now I've started calling it an application, and I've had her put it at the very top of my website so they can just go there. And it says, if you are serious about having a 6-figure or more new or existing business fast with fun, then apply for one of these sessions valued at $497, right? But what I'm doing now is automating this thing that before I had some touch points with them. We'll see what happens with that. I'm still having touch points with them, but it just makes it a little bit easier on me. But notice before I will even schedule with them, they must fill it out. And of course, the questions are things like, what are you afraid of? What is it that is holding you back? And if you don't solve this issue, what are you afraid will happen? What's possible when you do solve it? What are you making right now? What do you want to make? There are a number of questions on it, and and also how much have you invested in professional development and personal development? Because I want to know, is this a person who is an investor in themselves, and are they a buyer? Because, or are they a tire kicker? Because I don't spend my time with tire kickers. So part of this process too, you all, can be set up in the way that you have things so that when the person comes to you, you just have them directly go into that before you schedule with them.
I had an attorney, and when we were looking at her, the pipeline for her business, how
Yeah.
many appointments were set, how many did she convert? Well, she was
Yep.
getting a lot of appointments, but she wasn't converting a lot of them. And
Mm-hmm.
what we realized is it wasn't on her; it was they were the wrong people. And so it was like a 6-minute video that I didn't create it, but we like worked with the company
Yeah.
to talk about it. Like, here's all the things, and the amount of appointments that she made went down. It was 70 something percent
Yes.
less appointments. However, her conversion went up. And so to me, the fact you weren't doing these freebie for people that would never be a fit. I mean, she spent, a good, I mean, it was almost 10 grand for the video and the production and the
Totally
product.
worth it.
And it was totally worth it because you stopped doing all the other crap.
That's two
And
customers, or one or two customers for her. That's
yeah,
it.
totally worth
She
it.
stopped doing all the crap. Okay, I love this. What you said about a video. Make a video. It doesn't even have to be one that you spend a lot of money on.
Right.
But here's the other thing you can do before, if you want to increase your conversion rates once you get the referral, you're going to have them fill out an application, and you might also, or you might assign them a video that they have got to watch, a short video, not long, 5 minutes, but they have got to watch. Because I love what you said. I love it. I love it. I love it, Tiffanie, because her amount of her meetings went down, but her conversion went up. So
Yeah.
that means that she's actually leveraging her time with
Yeah.
the right people. And I've seen people who just make a career out of meeting one-on-one with people, and nothing happens from those meetings.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I used to do this one-on-one hour consultation. This is back in the day when we were still driving too. Free to
Right.
fill the pipeline. And after a handful of them, I'm like, this is
That's
and
bullshit.
I'm like, this is not an effective use of my time and energy, and it's not me. I'm gonna get in the room with Tiffanie, and you love her or you don't, and that's okay. That hurt my heart early in my speaking career, but I totally get now that I am not
It's a
everybody's favorite.
blessing.
And if you don't like me, it's okay. Like, I'm totally fine. I can refer you somebody else that can help you. Maybe not as fun, Southern socks, all that as me, but I can find you somebody that can probably get you semi-close. I want people that love me, because then I will love them much more likely than if it's like, no.
You know what, Tiffanie, my whole business model has changed in the sense that I have begun to focus mostly on my small boutique group and my Reiki master group, my small boutique Make It Happen mastermind, and my small boutique Reiki classes and Reiki masters. And they usually overlap too. And I love my little tribe, because guess what? I'd rather have them and be at at the battlefield, so to speak, than have 1,000, 100,000 people who didn't love me at the level that they do. And I think this is sometimes we get into this numbers thing in business. Oh, if I have X number of meetings, I'll convert X number. Well, what if you were to take what Tiffanie said and you were to have X number of meetings with people who are actually your ideal client, and how many would you convert there?
How do you even funnel them into not one-to-one meetings?
Exactly.
But
have a group meeting.
I
Have a
host
group meeting.
programs, and I just invite people. Like I have a 10-module program. Half of the modules are open to the public. So if somebody's like, I want to see Tiffanie, before we have an hour, let me try and explain to you what I do. No, come see it in action.
Come experience.
Come get the experience. If you like what you see, then we can talk more. And so instead of doing a lot of one-on-one, let me try and tell you what I do. Hey, come see it. And if
experience
you like it, then we convert, and some of these people
I got to pause you.
Talking to them.
I got to pause you, Tiffanie. You just said something brilliant that I love. You said
that's
something brilliant.
Tiffanie. Epiphany from Tiffanie.
Epiphany from Tiffanie. Woohoo! And that is that you give them 5 of the modules, right? Yes. And you give those for free. And then you upsell them, hopefully convert them into paying customers for the other 5. Okay, this makes
they get invited to attend 1 for free.
Oh, so okay.
Out of the 10 week, there's like they can come to 1, 3. What it doesn't, the numbers don't matter. But out of the half, because some of them are more intimate, and I want to just do it with my paying clients. Okay. And so you can come once.
Gotcha.
Check it out, and then you decide, yeah, we'll sign you up.
Because what you said, I started thinking, oh, wow, now that's an interesting idea. You let them come half. Now that seems too much, but you let them come a substantial amount, and you're basically doing, okay, you all, have you ever seen, I'm not going to name a company, but you've seen some of the cosmetics companies, and what they'll do is they'll take somebody, wipe off everything, I'm not good at wearing the makeup. I wear the lipstick, but anyway, and they'll wipe down the face, and then they'll make up half the face and let the person see the difference and say, well, would you like me to make up the other half of your face? This is the same kind of thing, you want to give people a teaser. You want to give them a taste. You want to give them an experience, and then say, hey, here's what we're going to do. You seed what's going to be in the rest of the series or what's going to be in the rest of the program. And you seed that as you give them that experience of one. And that basically whets their appetite. It's the appetizer for them to purchase the whole buffet.
So probably a great analogy in the makeup realm. We're going to do your lipstick, or we're going to do your eyeshadow, because it's kind of they're kind of self-contained. I usually use the analogy if it's like pizza, pepperoni. Sometimes it's on 2, so there's a little overlap, but it's self-contained. So I'm like, usually they're at least feeling like they're getting something, even though they ain't getting it all.
Yeah. And that's where something like a challenge is useful. If you do a challenge, or you do a little master class and let people come in, that's so useful. And it's leveraging your time. This is the other thing with getting referrals. Why not just leverage your time? As you're pointing out, Tiffanie, don't just meet one-on-one, have a group meeting where people, carefully select a little group that you think could help each other, of 4 or 6 people, and invite them to a meeting and have that be your RPM. That's like your RPM on, high octane gas there, rum, 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 because you got those people that you've selected, or I've heard of people, I have never done this. Well, not formally. I mean, I've done it kind of at my birthday parties where I'll just bring together like 20 amazing women and I go around and tell something about them, and then they become friends, or they start using each other for business or whatever.
So that technique I call round table.
Yeah.
Get 6 or 8. You could do 20 at a birthday party or around the bar. I figure out who I want to invite based around. So I would say, okay, I want to introduce my folks to Dr. Barnsley. So I'm going to go to my phone, check it out. Who do I invite? Everybody there I invited because I want to introduce to you.
Yeah.
They don't know that, but I know that. And everybody else just gets to meet everybody else too.
Now that is interesting, you all. Did you all hear that? Okay. And it occurs to me that actually, Tiffanie, just as we can do in podcasting or shows, we can do show swaps, that this kind of referral meeting can be swapped. So it could be something where, just giving the example of me and Tiffanie, I say, okay, well, Tiffanie, let me think about the contractors I know who would really benefit from your help. And let me get them. I know several, and I think some builders too. And let me get them together, and let's, I want to introduce you all. I want to introduce you all to this person. I want to introduce you to so and so and so and so and so and so. And of course, having somebody come in and guest speak is always a great way to do that too.
Yeah.
But I want everybody here, think about in the referrals, you want to go deep with the people that, as you pointed out, Tiffanie, are in your phone. You're going to have their calendar link. You're going to be ready. They're top of mind. But also think about going wide in the sense of speaking, so that you are developing more connections with your speaking. You're not just doing the one-on-ones or even the one-on-fours or one-on-sixes, So what are the mistakes people make? I always love to ask some question about what are the boo-boos?
Okay.
What are the faux pas?
So I'm thinking, I want to bring us back to our conversation from earlier. And so,
Oh yeah,
some people, when it comes to referrals, are kind of, I'm sitting back waiting to see what happens. Once you refer me, then I'll refer you. And what we have to realize is relationships, business, personal, romantic, they're all the same. And they only last as long as they're mutually beneficial to both parties. So there has to be give and take. And so earlier, I know we were talking about giving referrals is an amazing way for us to motivate our network. And like I have a whole, this is my networking scorecard. There are, 50 some, I'm going to have to count them one day.
I don't want to go bowling with you. That's scary.
16 relationship builders, and there's a bunch here. I like bowling now because you don't have to count. But I've got like a whole thing of different ways to motivate my network. And so maybe I'm meeting you for the first time and I'm not quite willing to refer you to my dad or to my mother-in-law. However, one way I could motivate you maybe is to like your social media page.
Yes.
To comment and interact.
Yeah.
Maybe we do
show up at an event.
Yeah. Hey, let me invite you to go networking. Hey, on the scorecard, you invite me to an event, 1 point. You come to the event with me, you 5 points. Yay. And so the other thing is we're just kind of gamifying.
We go have a drink afterwards. 20 points.
Yes. My husband and I created a whole networking event monthly, just based around drinking. Different story, different day. But yes, you can definitely utilize that. And the more we're motivating our network, the better referrals, the more referrals we're going to get. And here's where I think most people, why you ain't getting referrals. Most people think, I want referrals. Let me go to networking events, meet hundreds and thousands of people, develop this, and get the referrals.
Yes.
These are people you're meeting for the very first time. They don't know jack about you.
And they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. What's it for them? The way I approach it is, who are the 4, 6, or 8 people that are in similar professions, non-competing, but we've got the same ideal client. If we're able to have the same client, we're not competing. If I get 4, 6, or 8 of those, most people, that's all they need to do for their business. Now, Jason, who has 40 some employees, multiple crews, his only job is to go to the golf course and drink. And boat and other stuff. He's got like 24 on his list, but he's running multiple businesses and he's not working in the business hardly at all. Most
people need more time, to develop those.
Most people just need 4, 6, or 8 of the right people, motivate them, educate them, and the referrals flow in.
And part of that can be, for example, an affiliate program, right?
Yes.
So you can give people, you can have an affiliate program where they send people, and it can even be a free event that they send them to, but you still give them something. You give them a $10 Amazon card, or you give them whatever. But you can have an affiliate program that brings people into your funnel. I hate that word, but into your world and into your database, where you can then cultivate the relationship. But I think that's very powerful. When I go networking, really, Tiffanie, I don't want to meet with everybody. In fact, I try to say things that will deflect people I don't want to meet with. I'm serious. I try to say things that are going to make it really clear that certain people are never going to want to meet with me, and
Right.
that's all good. And for example, on the show, I'm like, are you I always say something like to the effect of, if you're a six-figure business owner or more, go watch some episodes, check out the vibe, and then get in touch with me about scheduling on the show, because I want to vet them, and I want them to self-select too, because they're not going to enjoy the show if they want this to be something where I'm reading you questions like, and how long have you been in business, Tiffanie? They're not going to enjoy this show, because this show is really, we go with the flow, and obviously we skip around a little bit, but when something interesting comes up, we don't want to miss that nugget. You know,
When I
and
interview, sometimes people are like, "Do you have questions?" I'm like, "Yes." Will you send them to me? I probably won't use
hell
any of
no.
them. I'm like, I got my, list. I keep it handy so I can just grab it.
I don't even have a list on paper.
I don't know the last time I've used it, but I've got like 3 because I want to make sure at the end I ask what your favorite brew is. Because
There you go.
our networking event is Brewing Up Business.
Oh, that's fun.
No G because I'm Southern. And so one of the things we typically ask is, what's your favorite brew? And I always want to make sure I get that.
And she ain't talking about a witch's cauldron, y'all.
Well,
That
as
was
long
a
as
good
it's
Southern.
brewed, I'm okay. I guess witch's cauldron,
Brew it up.
kombucha, tea. No.
Kombucha. I used to make kombucha. That shit is scary. Oh my God. When you see that mother in there, okay, it's called a mother, y'all. I'm not cursing for once, right? When you see that mother kombucha thing in there, that thing, some of mine got so thick. I actually learned kombucha from someone I met in networking, right? Yeah. And it's so interesting. And then we had this kombucha party, and then I ended up having a client come from the kombucha thing. You just never know how people are going to come to you. You really don't. No. And I think it's important to be really who you are, because there's nothing worse than working with a client you don't enjoy. There is nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse than interviewing someone you don't enjoy, or being interviewed by somebody you don't enjoy, right? Oh, so that's why I want people to just, seriously watch this. And if you don't enjoy it, then you're not meant to be on the show. But if you're sassy and funny and can play as we talk about serious shit, then you're the right mix. Yeah. And when somebody says something like, Tiffanie, would you send me the questions you're going to ask? I will send a couple of questions, but there's not a lot I'm going to put on there, because we just don't know where it's going to go.
Because I've tried to do those interviews, and I get some people's behavioral style is much more in line with that. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to ask you because you're going to say something, and we're going to end up, I like to call them Tiffany tangents. We're going to end up a Tiffany tangent somewhere that's probably better than if we stayed on script. So I try to be like, is there anything you specifically want me to ask you? Otherwise, we're just going to kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to mention, because it's funny, we started with the authentic, and we're beginning to get close to the end, and authentic comes back up.
Authentic has been coming up like a leitmotif throughout our interview.
So when I got into the networking realm of the business, I was 26 years old. I'm 44 now, if you're doing the math. And I felt like, because I not only was young, literally, I also looked young. Like, you get the computer air to clean your computer? Do you know you have to be 18 to purchase that?
And it wouldn't let you purchase.
I was 26, and it wouldn't sell me computer air. I had to go home, because we used it for our embroidery machine in my promotional products company. I had to go home, get my ID to come back and buy computer air. So I'm only saying that because I was young in my mind, and I looked young, apparently.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I had to be the ultimate professional. And when you're trying to be perfect and polished, it keeps everybody at arm's length. And until they begin to see you as you really are. And that, to me, is what social media did for me. Because in 2008, social media came out, and people started seeing me for who I really was as a person as a whole, versus just who I was at a networking event. And that made me really realize that I was trying too hard to be perfect. And in doing that, I wasn't letting anybody in. And while I'm not perfect, and I'm imperfect, and I have all kinds of issues, I'm human, and that's much more relatable than to be perfect and posturing all the time. And I'm not as much talking
Mhm.
about the social media. We went there. I'm just talking about even in person on Zoom, all of that.
Yep, I've heard this from so many different people in business, especially women in business, when I just embraced how I like to dress and the colors I like, the funky jewelry I like, the thick, scarves I like, the this I like and that, then or the sportswear I always wear, then or the camouflage I like to wear, then people really started to relate to me. We've got to really stand for something. I always am putting stuff up about my rescue animals. I don't know if you saw the thing I put out. It was called the two-headed dog cat.
Oh no, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check it
Oh,
out.
go look at it because it's my big 100-pound black dog beside the cat, and they literally look like the same animal. It is wild. And
Yeah.
then everybody's commenting on this, right? But be the things that you care about, bring them in. That can be a big thing about getting referrals in business because people want to know who we are. Who are you? Who is this person I'm going to send people to?
And I'm the speaker in socks. So I have over 400 pair of socks. If I'm
Oh
out
my
in
God.
if I'm out in person, I have on my socks and my Converse with my cute, appropriate business attire speaking dress.
I love that.
So my back loves it, my legs love it, my chiropractor and my massage therapist love it, my body loves it. And it's memorable, it's unique, it's quirky, which totally fits me. It is not everybody's style to go out there. And sometimes I even feel weird, like if I'm going to an event, I'll make sure I have flip-flops. I live in Florida, so that's normal. Flip-flops in the
Yeah.
car so I can take off the socks if I'm going into the store. But you mentioned earlier about being memorable.
Yeah.
Crazy socks are definitely coming more in style, but they weren't, that's a recent thing. I get pictures from people at the sock store of other
Oh
people's
yeah, because
socks
they're
they
thinking
saw,
about it.
and they're wearing crazy socks. And so it's become this thing, like when people see the socks, they think about, and these are my Tiffany socks. So when you have
Oh,
your Tiffany
lovely.
for more money, more time, more fun,
I
yay.
love it. So you can give those as promo stuff. Those can be promos for your VIP clients. That could be,
I pre-sold book number 3 with a pair of socks.
This is okay. All right. This is awesome. You just get a thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. You just gave me the best idea for this children's book I just finished. Yes. Yes. I'm going to put socks in it because it has a bird and it has a cat in it. And yeah, I can have Whimsy or I can have the cat on. I can have cats on there. And for the print book. And I'm having all sorts of fun stuff in the ebook, like recipes, because there are these important things in there. I want y'all to listen. Now, that's some stroke of genius right there. But the fact that you are branding yourself, we have someone in this area who calls himself the man in green, who makes people green. And I actually helped him. He doesn't remember this, but I actually helped him come up with that tagline, "Who makes people green?" Because what he does is he helps people save money on their systems, their computer and card and phone systems in their businesses. And he only wears green. He only wears green. His car is green, shrink wrapped green. Everything is green. If he gives away something in a promo, it's always green. And it's Kelly green at that, Kelly green. Remember that? Maybe you're too young for that, but Kelly green and pink.
My grandmother liked Kelly green so much that my dad detests the color of green from that point in his life. So that's why I'm reacting to the green. I'm like, bad memories for my poor dad because my grandmother did it. So I 100%.
How I grew up and as a teenager wearing Kelly green and pink, I don't know, but I did. That was the thing. That was the thing in the South. It was like hot pink and Kelly green, man. Anyway, woo, yeah. So as we wrap, oh my gosh, Tiffanie, we just went longer than we thought we would, and it's gone so fast. I told y'all this would be fun and it would be fast. I hope everybody that you've been taking some notes, and I hope you're going to put your ahas here in the comments. Don't be an internet voyeur, people. I can see you. Let me see if I can do a creepy eye.
Oh, you're gonna scare us.
I need to get a creepy eye and hold it
Let
up.
us know you watched it. Get us to hashtag #eTiffany with an I.
Tiffany, I love it. And you all, here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing is that Tiffany has something to give us. What are you giving us today, Tiffany?
So sticking in the Southern style that we're in, I do have an ebook that is Why Ain't You Getting Referrals? We've talked about a couple. We haven't talked about a couple. And it actually will take you through 5 steps to creating referral success and the ain'ts that are going on. Though, as a bonus, just because we talked about it, if you want to see one of those 10 modules, drop me an email and we can come check it out just to see kind of how my funnel is, and or maybe get some referrals along the way.
Do y'all see what she just did? Ooh, slick. No, she just gave us a taste, right? She told you in the ebook, we've covered a couple, but we haven't covered a lot of it because it's not possible in this short amount of time. So you got to get the ebook, you all. You have to get the ebook and then drop Tiffanie an email and tell her, I want to see one of the modules. So Tiffanie, where did they get this hair ebook?
So the ebook is going to be at bit.ly/whyant. WHYAINT, no apostrophes in there.
Okay, say it again. Say it again.
bit.ly/WHYAINT. And once this is up, I'll go comment on this video once I've got the link of it, and we'll put it there too to make it easy for y'all.
So it's bit.ly/whyant.
Yes.
But no apostrophe.
I think in talking to you, I think both of our accents are getting thicker the longer we're on this.
I know. I think it's just fun. No wonder we were sorry. It was just fun. My daughter said to me the other day, she's like, Mom, your accent is really coming out. And a lot of times people don't even know I'm from the South, but other times I don't know, they think I'm from New York for some reason. Am I that in your face? That's okay. I embrace it.
Maybe it's because you're a fast talking Southerner, though. I know plenty of fast talking Southerners.
Yeah, I do too. Well, and you all, as if that isn't enough, that amazing opportunity you just got from Tiffanie, remember, you can also go to my website, spirited-solutions.com, spirited-solutions.com, and you can get how to overcome overwhelm in 7 easy steps, which will also be helpful to you in all the things that you're juggling as a business owner. Right? So you have time to figure out how to ask people to refer folks to you. And you have time to go see this incredible module that Tiffanie has. Well, Tiffanie, this has been exceptional, my dear. You have delivered, and those treats that people get by going there, oh my gosh, you all don't miss out, and share them with other people who are new business owners, or maybe they're kind of, you just don't think they have a handle on referrals, or you think they just don't tell them I said that, but and you think they could use some help. And maybe also you could send it to the people that you're kind of grooming into your referral partners and say, hey, what do you think about this? Could we do this together? Let's send them the ebook. Could you and I do this together? Could we form a group that does this for each other? Use the book that way too, because anytime that you deliver value to your prospects, your clients, and your colleagues, you deepen that relationship. And we all know that relationships are the secret to having a business that lasts, that endures no matter what, no matter the economy, no matter the weather, no matter COVID, no COVID, whatever. Relationships are the things that will endure. And if you have those, your business will endure. This is how I've endured over 23 years. And I'm sure how you've endured over 18 years, right?
Yes.
Seriously. Baseline relationships. The quality of your relationships determines the quality of your business. And referrals. So you all, I just want to thank you again, Tiffanie. Yay. Here's a round of applause. And we love you. Thank you for coming on. And everyone, don't forget to go and subscribe to Bold Badass Business Owner Show at YouTube. Dr. Barnsley Brown. Just put in Dr. Barnsley Brown, spell it right. It's right there in front of you. Look. And subscribe, and please share it. I am really counting on you to help me get those subscribers over 1,000, or I have promised to paint myself blue and run naked down Highway 40, which I really don't want to do. So y'all got to help me get those YouTube subscribers, and I want more engagement there, as well as Facebook and LinkedIn, where people are always running around saying things. And please comment and share this information, and share Tiffanie. So you all, I'll see you next week 4:30 p.m. Eastern for the Bold Badass Business Owners Show. And when you show up, you too are a bold badass business owner.